Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's a Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London. They finally set their clocks as they were supposed to. And it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. They're having breakfast and they're getting ready to start their day and maybe get off to work and just do whatever they have to do to wrap up to get their weekend going. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I am with you for the next hour, and we're here every Thursday at this time. If you look at your clock, you'll see that you may be on a different time zone than we are. We're at Eastern. You could be Pacific, Mountain, or whatever. But look at that clock, because that's the time we come on in your area each week. Now, we all invite everyone here. And if you're new, you're particularly invited. Now, if you're new, here's how the show operates. Every week at this time when we come on, I throw out the conversation, get the ball rolling as the host, and make sure everything is okay and everybody's comfy, cozy, and sweet and rosy, right? And in between all of that, while I give the information that I have to give out, you could chime in just as well. All you have to do is just take your keyboard, type it. You may be on your cell phone or your tablet or your computer. Use the keyboard. That's how you talk to me. I will see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas and everything that you have to say. And if you have anything in particular that you want to talk about as far as conversation piece go, please feel free, because this is a program of free exchange and ideas, and we like each and every one of you to enjoy and get started with us and get the ball rolling. And we're going to get the ball rolling. And we've got so many things to talk about. It's been a busy day. It's been a real busy day, I got to tell you. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things that's been going on today. And those of you who are here for the very first time, also you ought to know that we come from 3 different places. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're also on Instagram as well. And so those of you who are watching us on Facebook, hello Instagram, hello YouTube, all of you guys. And you know what you can do for me, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching for the first time, and even if you are a member here for forever, you know what to do. You know the protocol. What I want you to do is this show right here. You could actually tag it to all of your friends on Facebook. All you have to do is do that right now. It's just as simple. You don't have to turn away from us. Just do it right now. You may have many friends that you want to get involved with. You want them here, tag them. And what they'll see that notification, and they will click onto that notification because they'll know it's coming from you. And once they click on that notification, boop, 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 they're right here. They'll see you, they'll see me, and everybody else who's involved here as well. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to stick to the plan and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know why? Because every time you subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you only have to do it once, when you do that, it gives you an opportunity to know that when we're on the air live, it'll give you that notification. Even if we post a video or a photo of any sort of information like that, you will be notified if you're online, and all you have to do is just click onto it and you're right there. Now, nothing is charged here. We don't charge you for anything. Subscription is free. All you have to do is hit that button. See right there? It says subscribe. Take your mouse, click onto it, and that's it. Just as simple as that. And you're a full-fledged member, just like that. So we don't charge you any money for that. It's free. You don't have to have a union card. You don't have to have any form of ID, not even a parent's note. Nothing like that, unless you're under 18. Of course, we don't want to encourage anyone under 18 to be on, you consult with your parents first. Whatever it is, we run a clean show here, and it's a family show, and we want to get everybody involved. So again, thank all of you guys for being along with us. Now, we're going to do all of our usual things as we always do. Coming up not too far away in the program, Brian Camp, who we will be linking up with from Charlotte, North Carolina, from New York to Charlotte. And he's going to come along and bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's got a lot to talk about. And of course, he'll do that, and you'll get a chance to see him, and you'll get a chance to meet him. But if you're watching us on Instagram, you won't be able to see him. We're not designed to do that just yet. Hopefully, at some time, maybe Meta will, find it in their heart that we can use their facilities to do that. But right now, it doesn't happen. Anyway, all you have to do is just stay right there, and you'll see. So you'll see Brian right there. And if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him. So that's how it goes. And we're so glad to have you aboard with us once again. And stay with us. There's a lot to talk about. Sports. Hey, how do you like that? Baseball is back. But Brian will talk about that when he comes in. Our everybody, I was watching Instagram and all of the other publications and the media and all of the great places that you guys like to visit on social media, and everything was opening day, the Mets, the Yankees, San Francisco, Detroit Tigers, opening day for everybody. And so baseball was a big thing today, but as I said, we'll talk more about that when it comes along. And remember that everything that we talk about, all the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So there you have it. Yes, it is Thursday, and something in New York, even though it's officially spring, right? But when I went outside here in New York, it was kind of cold. Now it may be a different story where you are right now, but it was a big chill in the air, and baseball went on anyway here in New York. It went on anyway, but it was cold. It was cold out there. I'm pretty sure you heard the latest news. Of course, the breaking news, and we got that just a couple of hours ago when it went on the air, before we got on the air. But you know it all by now. 345/666 Beast Incarnate. You know him as Donald Trump. He has been indicted by the New York jury. New York, and they're ready to indict him. So that's big news, and we're going to talk more about that a little later. We're going to save that for later. All of that's coming up later. Also coming up, we are going to bring you this day in history. We have all the events that happened this day in history. We have a full line of that's coming up. And towards the end of the program, before it's all over, I have all of those great movies that you love so much. You love them, those Turner Classic Movies. Turner Classic Movies, right? And I have my picks of the week for this weekend, for those of you who do certain things on the weekend, but maybe you want to put into your plans to catch up on some movies. And I have a few that I just want to relay to you that you can put into your archives or on your bucket, or I should say in your bucket list of things to do and the things to watch this weekend. So all of that is coming up. So there you go. And a lot of news happened. As I said, we'll get to the other news later, but I just want to also relay some of the things that we heard over the week. By the way, we're not finished with Women's History Month. We're still in the midst of it right now. So we're still celebrating. As a matter of fact, this is going to be our last night, our last day here on Talkback Live, talking about Women's History Month. Although we can keep it all going, before the month is over, because we're into the 30th, tomorrow's the 31st, and that's the end of that. And that's the end of March Madness and all of that. But so we're still celebrating, and things are still happening. Things are being broadcast on TV, all of the things that you see dedicated to women, it's all there. And so it's still Women's History Month. We want to send our prayers out to the Pope. Pope Francis admitted to the hospital just the other day. And we're praying for him because there was a situation where he had problems breathing or something like that. So they admitted him. Haven't heard any news since that news that I just broke to you just now, but hopefully he's doing okay and he'll be just fine. So that's Pope Francis was admitted. So we're just taking things in stride, Another mass shooting, and well, this is old news, but you know, we only hear once a week. You already know that, right? So we get the news, and when we come on the air, it's still talked about anyway because it's part of the big news that's on TV and radio right now. Another mass shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. 3 children and 3 adults were killed, and 3 of the children were 9 years old. You had 3 adults. One was, I think, a substitute teacher. I think another one was a teacher, and then a custodian. 3 adults and 3 children. And it was a touching thing to see. Now these parents now are going beyond thoughts and prayers. They're going beyond that now, you know, because even though it's very important, what I would say to you is just do it. Just use your thoughts and use your prayers. Just do it. Don't mention it. All right, because I think that's one of the last things that anyone want to talk about, because these people lost their children. They lost their children and their loved ones. And according to the gun violence archives, there are 130 mass shootings here in the United States, 130 mass shootings here in the United States, and we're just getting ready to reach April. We're only coming up to 4 months in this new year. And already there's 130 mass shootings here in the United States so far. And people are really aggravated over this thing, and they're wondering for the last time, when is this going to happen? Now, the person that did this shooting, this mass shooting, was a 28-year-old woman. Or I guess, to put mildly, she was I think she was a transgender, but nevertheless, 28 years old, used to be a student at that school. She's 28 years old, and it was said to believe that she had 7 guns in her possession. And of course, one of them was an AR-15. Now, I got reservations and I have thoughts about AR-15s. You know, when are we going to get rid of these things? You know, you see, ladies and gentlemen, we are into a gun culture, and it was never like this before. And they have to do something about these gun laws, because how many times are we going to have to express and do this again, talk about this again? How many more people are going to have to die once again before it's all over? And we're waiting around for the government to take action on it, because that's what these parents and the people who lost their loved ones, that's what they're looking for. They were looking for a call for action, and they're looking for the government to do it. Now, the GOP, you know, they're not saying much about this thing, you know, because we already know the position of that. The position there is that it's about the Second Amendment. Second Amendment. We want to keep our guns. We don't want to lose our guns, and no one's asking that, because I think that's one of the rights to do it. But what really bothers me is some of these people, you know, they are saying, oh, well, you know, what can we do? There's nothing more we can do. You know, these people die. What can we do? This is the attitude that they're having right now. And I look at some of these photos, and you see the photos millions of times of some of these families. They're in front of a Christmas tree with their families, particularly their young kids, and they're all carrying weapons. And they look like, I don't know if they're replicas or if they're real guns. I don't know, but everyone is using this AR-15, Now, the AR-15, understand something. AR-15, that's a gun where you know you're really going to kill someone, and it's not like a revolver where you're just going to shoot at someone and possibly miss. Who knows? An AR-15 is something that you know you're going to kill someone with. And people are carrying these things. They're going in, they're collecting guns, you know, like it's it's like it's New Year's. They go in and they can get these guns. They go to these gun shops, and there are no background checks or anything like that. And then they talk about, see the GOP, they're talking about, it's the mental thing. It's these people are struggling with mental problems, and that's what it is. And it's not always that. It can be part of it, but it's not always that. So we're going to talk more about that too. We're going to talk more about that later. That's all coming up. And as I said, we're going to talk about one of the biggest news that happened today, that if you want to chime in and be part of the action as well, we invite you to do so. We'll talk more about that coming up. But right now, we're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, as we do each week. We link up with Charlotte, North Carolina. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you could see him. You on Instagram, only you could hear him. Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. What a day in sports, huh?
Yes, Major League Baseball is back.
Yes.
And it's official. The new season starts with a lot of new rules, a lot of changes, and a lot of people are not happy with this at all. And I'm not happy with a lot of the new rules. You have a certain amount of time to get back into the batting box.
Yeah.
You got a certain amount of time to pitch the ball. This is their way of trying to speed up the game. It seems like every year there's new rules that they're trying to bring not only the fans back, but they're trying to bring back the younger generation back to the ballparks. I did see the Yankees and the Giants play. My San Francisco Giants lost to your New York Yankees 5-0. Giants are here for the next couple of days. They're off tomorrow. They play Saturday and Sunday. Now, this is the first time since 1968, where all 30 teams, all teams played the opener of opening day. So it's been a long time. Usually they just have a couple of teams playing and there's a day off, but this is the first time since 1968 that all Major League Baseball teams will start their opening day. So that's something to think about, something to reckon with. But yes, the Yankees defeated the San Francisco Giants by a score of 5-0. I saw the game. It was a domination pitching performance by Cole. I forget his first name, but Garrett Cole. Yes, and the Yankees won, and that's game one. 161 more games to go. Aaron Judge hit a home run. My team didn't have an answer. I don't know I don't know what it is for opening day. I'm not making excuses for them, but they are traveling from California all the way to the East Coast. And just like the weather, just like you just stated, it was kind of cool out there. When I watched the game, wasn't that many fans out there for an opening game, so a lot of empty seats. But baseball's back, and let's be happy for that. Congratulations to the New York Yankees for game one. The NBA, congratulations to Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Coach Greg Popovich, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, and WNBA legend Becky Harmon have been voted into the 2023 Hall of Fame class. A formal announcement would be made at the NCAA Men's Final Four in Houston coming up this weekend. Speaking of the Final Four, we're all set for men's and women. For the women, the Final Four will start on tomorrow, and the championship game will be on the 2nd, which will be on a Sunday. Well, tomorrow we got 7 o'clock is LSU versus Virginia Tech, and at 9 o'clock it'll be Iowa versus South Carolina. South Carolina is trying to make history by going undefeated for the entire season. Both games will be on ESPN, and the championship game again will be on ESPN April 2nd. For the men's, Saturday is the Final Four. It'll be starting at 6 o'clock. Florida Atlantic, one of the Cinderella teams, never been to the Final Four, versus San Diego State, never been to the Final Four. That game will be at CBS. That game will be on CBS at 6 o'clock. The second game will be at 8:45. It'll be the Miami Hurricanes, never been to the Final Four, versus UConn, who has been to the Final Four, who has won. That game is on CBS, and the championship game will be on April 3rd or be on Monday. So last week it was wild. It was crazy. It was just incredible. It was just, the atmosphere was just going unbelievable ballistics, and so we're happy for that. That's what we want. We want excitement. We want jaw dropping, and it was great. So expect to see more jaw dropping this weekend between the men's and the women's. So that's where we stand. This day in sports, March 30th, 1992, man accidentally backs into Oakland A's outfielder Jose Canseco, and it was backed into his $225,000 Lamborghini. Yes, believe it or not, that's the only thing we could talk about on this day. Believe it or not. Birthdays: 1940. NBA center Jerry Lucas, born in Middletown, Ohio. 1988. Richard Sherman, still alive. Cornerback, was born in Compton, California. Very outspoken man. And in 1994, Alex Bergman, Major League Baseball player, first baseman, was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And ladies and gentlemen, that is somewhat of a short, busy week in sports.
You know what?
Now you can start again.
Yeah, they heard me. They heard me on the other ones. They heard me on YouTube and they heard me on Instagram, but they didn't hear me here. They didn't have my mic on. No, I'm going to start it all over again. I was going to say, as you wrapped up, I was going to say we had a great day in baseball, and I'm not going to gloat about the San Francisco Giants because they're going to come back, and they're going to come back strong. It's just one of those things. And just like you say, tomorrow they have the day off, but they have Saturday and they have Sunday as well. So we'll see what happens in between all of that time. But the exciting thing to me about today's game is that not only did we have a good game, but we also welcomed our brand new shortstop, Anthony Volpe. He's our brand new shortstop. And he didn't do a lot of fielding today because the pitcher was
striking out.
I think he had 11 strikeouts today.
Yeah.
11
strikeouts.
And
a lot of strikeouts, yeah.
That broke a record. That 11 strikeout broke a record for opening day season.
Yes.
And so that was good news. That was good news on that part. But we'll see what Anthony does. But he's going to be good. I think he's going to be fine. He's only 21 years old. And I was happy, the very first inning, not A-Rod, I get him mixed up, but Aaron Judd.
All rise.
All rise. Well, I don't have my gavel with me. But Aaron Judd, he came out swinging, and I no pun intended.
Yeah,
he came out swinging.
Oh, yeah.
First time at bat, he hit the second pitch. The second pitch, he came out.
I saw that, and I knew as soon as he hit it, it was straight ahead to center field. I said, "Uh-oh!" Just the sound of his bat, the way how he stood there. Oh yeah.
And when you see, you could tell when it's going to go out. You could tell when it's going to go out there because when he hits it, it's like some players, they could hit a ball and you're not sure if it's going to go out. Even the announcer's not sure it's going to go out. But when he hits the ball, it's so much velocity before it goes over that fence, even before it gets over to the infield, when it reaches hovering over the infield, before it even gets there, you already know it's gone.
Well, you got to understand, he's 6'7". He's a strong man.
Yeah.
The harder you throw the ball, and the harder you swing and make contact, the ball is not going to go out the ballpark for a home run, but it's going to travel for a long ways. Yeah.
Yeah. But he picked up where he left off, as Michael Kay would say. He picked up where he left off.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm looking, and that's his 63rd home run. You know, started off. That's his 63rd lifetime.
Well,
Well,
his 63rd lifetime. No, that's his first home run of the season.
63rd home run. Well, if he's going to pick up where he left off, if he's going to, that would be 63. But we're going to start brand spanking new. That's his first home run of the year. So we'll see what he does this year with that. So yeah, I'm glad it's all back. It looks good.
Yeah.
And we'll pray for your San Francisco Giants.
As the game one, you know, it's going to be a long season. You know, we got till all the way until September, or the end of September.
Yeah.
My team, you know, the Giants, they're not built to win, but they're a feisty team. They're gonna be battling because they got a manager that make you battle.
Yeah.
You know, so they'll be fine. You know, you failed to mention also. I'm not getting off the subject. About the mass shooting. The little girl, one of the victims was the daughter of the pastor of the school. Yeah. And it was a religious school.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just so heartbreaking, and just this is crazy. This is crazy and everything, you know. I don't want to change gears and everything, but I just wanted to mention that and everything.
Well,
but go ahead.
All we have to do is wait for the grand old party to come to snap out of it and understand that, you know, no one is taking away anyone's rights. You know, this Second Amendment thing, no one is taking anyone's right. Everyone, the Second Amendment stands for bearing arms, but you gotta understand something. Along with bearing arms, comes responsibility.
Exactly.
Anything that you do and what you say, what you believe, everything comes with responsibility. And I always relate back to those people who take pictures in front of a Christmas tree with their children with guns. And what are we teaching these kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just incredibly how things have just got to change. It just got to change, you know. Yeah. I mean, you know, I know the people. Then you hear on social media that they're blaming the president for this. You know, it doesn't matter who's in office. To be honest with you, until they decide to change these laws, and it's just we're going to have more copycats and more people doing this. And unfortunately, you know, they attack our little ones. You know.
Yeah.
So, well, I have a movie for you all to watch. It's on Prime Video. Okay. It's called Reggie Jackson documentary. Make sure that if you have Prime Video, it's a must see. Reggie Jackson was a person baseball player who won 2 championships for the New York Yankees. He was the straw that stirred the drink, you know. And he talks about his youth, talk about days with George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin. You got to go see it. It's a much see documentary.
Yeah, and also that there's a movie out now. I think it's in movie theaters right now called Air, and that's
with Michael Jordan. Yeah,
Jordan. I don't think Michael Jordan is in it, but you know it's about him. I don't think
it's about him.
Yeah, you know. So and you know they got Matt Damon is the key player in that movie. I don't get that, but he is. Maybe because I didn't see the movie, maybe that's why I don't get it. But
I didn't see it yet. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few people. What's the guy that married Jennifer Lopez? I forget his name. They went back and forth. Ben
Affleck.
Yes, he has. I think he's the one of the executive producers, and I think he's in it too as well. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of acting, you know. So I don't know what his status is as far as an actor. He doesn't do a lot of it, you know. But anyway, so look, do we expect to catch you back here tomorrow, right?
10:05.
You got it. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Everybody enjoy your evening. Take care.
All right. Take care of yourself. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's here each week at this time. He will be back here tomorrow morning as well, for sports on the coffee hour at 10 a.m. Eastern. So check it out. He'll be here. And then that's part of his 2020 feature. He'll come on 20 after the hour. And then he'll do the sports. And then the second part of the 2020 feature, DJ Pete will be here with news, entertainment news, and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. And just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, for those of you who care. And if you don't, then don't worry, my feelings are not hurt. Anyway, I'm going to be here to the top of the hour. We have another half hour to go. And those of you who are watching, tell your friends about us, right? If you're watching us on Facebook, please, you can tag the show right now to your friends. Whatever show is left, what part of the show is left, tag your friends right now. And they'll see the information right there. They'll see that it came from you. And then all you have to do is wait until they come in. And if they like what they see and if they like what they hear, they'll be full-fledged members, all of that. I want to say hello. Oh, my good friend right there, Maurice Watts. That's the voice. Mr. Disc Jockey, right there. He come to visit me, and Maurice, it's funny that you came in here, because I thought about you and your wife just the other day. I just thought about you guys just the other day. So that means I have to give you a call to find out how you're really doing. But I'm pretty sure you're doing okay. But Reggie, number 44, is the man. Yeah. He is the man. I love Reggie. I love Reggie. I have a photo of Reggie and I together that I have failed to ever post on Facebook, but I'm going to do that. And it was a pleasure to even meet him. And it's not about MJ. It's not about, no, it's not. Oh, okay. We're talking about the movie. He says it's not about Michael Jordan. It's about the sneaker, which makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. It's about the sneaker, not about Michael Jordan. All right. Again, I didn't see the movie. Maybe I will. I don't know. Listen, Maurice, I'm just catching up on the Creed movies, right? I didn't see those Creed movies in the movie theater when it came out. And so I had a chance to go on demand and watch both of the beginnings of each movie, the Creeds. So now I'm ready for the third one, which, by the way, it's going to be released. By the way, it's going to be released on digital. Come on tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 31st. It's going to be released tomorrow, so you can go out and get yourself a copy too. And so Maurice, you're doing okay? How's things going? Boy, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I mean, it's I know you still have your show there, and boys, it's been a long time. I love talking about these old times with him. We're going to do that at another time. Ladies and gentlemen, again, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And of course, we're going to be here up to the top of the hour. And hopefully that you'll be here with me. So it's that time right now. So let's get started right now on this day in history. On this day in history, 1922, KGY-AM in Olympia, Washington, also WWL-AM in New Orleans, Louisiana. Both stations started their broadcast transmission that year. On this day in history, 1946, the third Golden Globes go to The Lost Weekend. That's an old movie starring Ray Milland and Ingrid Bergman. On this day in history, in 1946, Harold Arlen and Johnny Mercer musical St. Louis Woman, starring Pearl Bailey and featuring the Nicholas brothers, opens at the Martin Beck Theater in New York City. It runs for 113 performances. On this day in history, in 1950, the Bell Telephone Laboratories announces inventions of the phototransistor in Murray Hill, New Jersey. On this day in history, 1955, the 27th Academy Awards On the Waterfront goes to Marlon Brando and Grace Kelly. On this day in history, 1964, astronaut John Glenn withdraws from the Ohio State race. And on this day in history, in 1966, Color Me Barbara, Barbra Streisand's second TV special and the first in color that premiered on CBS. On this day in history, 1967, the cover picture of the Beatles, a Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. That's the album cover. It was photographed by Michael Cooper. Back in 1970, American television soap opera, Another World. Another World in Somerset premieres on NBC, and it runs up until 1976. Back in 1970, Columbia Records releases jazz artist Miles Davis' influential double album, Bitches Brew. It becomes his highest chart title, and it wins the Grammy Award and earns him his first gold record. Back in 1972, the revival of Stephen Sondheim's musical comedy, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, starring Phil Silvers, opened at the L'Enfontaine Theater in New York City and runs for 156 performances and wins 2 Tony Awards. Back in 1981, Chariots of Fire, directed by Hugh Hudson and starring Ben Cross and Iron Charlson, premieres at the Royal Command Film Performance, and it made the Best Picture of 1982. Back in 1981, US President Ronald Reagan, we all remember this, is shot and wounded in an assassination attempt by John Hinckley. 3 others were also wounded. Back in 1987, the 59th Academy Awards Platoon goes to Paul Newman and Marlene Matlin. On this day in history, you remember this one, Maurice? Back in 1988, the second Soul Train Music Award went out to Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. That was back in 1988. 1992, the 64th Academy Awards, The Silence of the Lambs. That goes to Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster. Back in 1992, P.J. Patterson resigns as the 6th Prime Minister of Jamaica. In 2022, Bruce Willis announces that he's going to be stepping away from acting after he was diagnosed with a disease called aphasia. Actor Warren Beatty was born on this day in 1937 in Richmond, Virginia. He's 86 years old today, and singer and guitarist Eric Clapton was born on this day in 1945 in Ripley, Surrey, England. He's 78 years old today. In 1949, fashion model Naomi Sims was born on this day. She passed away in 2006. In 1957, actor Paul Reiser, who did that sitcom Mad About You, was born in New York City. He's 66 years old today. In 1962, rapper MC Hammer was born on this day in Oakland, California. He's 61. In 1964, singer-songwriter Tracy Chapman with her big hit Fast Car and Give Me One Reason was born in Cleveland, Ohio. She's 59 today. Singer Celine Dion was born on this day in 1968. She was born in Quebec, Canada. She's 55 years old today. In 1970, actor Mark Consuelos was born in Zaragoza, Spain, and he's 53 today. By the way, Mark is the husband of Kelly Ripa. And let's say singer Noah Jones was born on this day in 1979 in my hometown of Brooklyn, New York. She's 44 years old today. In 1940, broadcast journalist Walter Cronkite marries Mary Elizabeth Maxwell at the Grace and Holy Trinity Apostle Church. In 1946, actress and singer Doris Day weds jazz saxophonist George Wiedler, and they got divorced in 1949. And moving right along, in 1997, rapper Vanilla Ice weds Laura Giretti. That's how I pronounce that. Laura Giretti, I believe her name is. 2004, actress Jennifer Gardner. We talked about Ben Affleck, right? He was married to her one time. Jennifer Gardner, I would say, divorced actor Scott Foley after 4 years of marriage. In 2016, Rosie O'Donnell and market executive Kelly O'Donnell divorced after 3 years of marriage. Actor James Cagney died on this day in 1986 at the age of 86 from a heart attack. He was born July 17, 1899 in New York City. And let's see, Queen Elizabeth I, that's the first Queen Elizabeth, died on this day 2002. 2002, 2002, at the age of 101. She was born August 4th, 1900. And she was born in Hitchland, Hertfordshire, England. In 2017, singer Rose, I would say Rose, but Rosie Hamlin. Rosie Hamlin was with a group called Rosie and the Originals. See, I go back in time. Rosie and the Originals, when she did that doo-wop song, Angel Baby, and she died at the age of 71 years old. And finally, singer Bill Withers died on this day in 2020 at the age of 81 years old from heart complications on July 4th. That's where he was born, July 4th in 1938 in Slabfork, West Virginia. Slabfork, West Virginia. That's this day in history. And those of you who may know something that's happening in this day in history that I didn't say, possibly I didn't get it, feel free. And I will also see you right there on the big screen. And I will also take knowledge of it, and then I'll convey it to everyone else. And listen, if you'd like to get in touch with me personally, feel free. All you have to do is get in contact with me by calling me or emailing me. Either way, let me give the email address first. Email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Now, spell Allan, A-L-L-A-N. Don't make that mistake of saying E-N, because if you do, that email will bounce someplace else to another Frank Allan, spelled with the E-N. Frank Allan Prod, A-L-L-A-N, Frank Allan Prod, P-R-O-D, that's short for productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, if you have anything to say about the show, you can critique it with thick skin around here. So it doesn't matter what you say, we can take it because we learn from you. If you have something to say, we learn from you. We learn from each other, right? That's why we keep our mouths shut and we open our ears to you. And if you want to say anything about the show, or if you have any questions, or even if you have some suggestions, anything like that, or even if you just want to say hi or bye or whatever, get in contact with me. It's open. Because I like people when they come here, when we come on live, I like to talk to them. But some people, they just like to sit back and, as James Brown used to say, lay back in the cut, right? And that's what they like to do. And well, we don't mind that. But, you know, if you're that shy and you just want to get in touch with me personally, you could do that. So let me repeat that email address once again, frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Once again, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And those of you who are just joining us, we're here each week at this time. We're here each week, and you're invited. And you don't need any kind of union card, any kind of notification. You don't have to get a note from your parents, unless, of course, you're under 18. And, you know, they'll have to monitor you, right? But other than that, all you have to do is just join us. And again, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, tag your friends and let them know that we're on the air. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, we always encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can go there and hit that little button, take your mouse. This is a mouse, right? You take that little mouse, a little portable mouse, take that little mouse and click onto it, and you're in like Flint. It doesn't matter. You're right there. And again, there's no charge for that. And we always welcome you. So let's see what Maurice says, man. Let's see, forever be grateful to, oh man, look, you don't have to say that. I know where you're going with this, Maurice. You don't have to say that. You know, you don't have to say that. You know, see, you did all the work. I didn't do anything. I just say, hey, you know, take it and run with it. You know, take it and run with it. But I appreciate you anyway. I really appreciate you anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, you already heard the news, ladies and gentlemen, all of you guys, and it's it's a sad day, even though we had a good day as far as sports is concerned. I like baseball. I don't know about you, Maurice. I don't know if you like baseball. I do know that you like basketball and football. And you and I, we don't share the same team. But my brother Brian, who did the sports here, you and him share the same team. You're a Dallas Cowboy guy. I'm Minnesota Vikings. And listen, we all had a good year. We all had a good year, didn't we? We all had a good year. He's Dallas Cowboys, and so we can't argue. The other thing Maurice and I have in common is the color. Our favorite colors, blue. Did I get that right? Your favorite color is blue. My favorite color is blue. I think that's another thing that no wonder I like this guy so much. Go Cowboys. Hey, listen, Maurice, the Cowboys are going to do good. They're going to do good. And they're going to come back. And my Minnesota Vikings, they're going to come back. The Jets, they're going to come back. All of these, no, not the Jets. The Jets didn't do too well. The Giants, I meant to say the Giants. The Giants did very well. But we didn't get into the big game. We didn't get into the big game, but it's going to be okay. We're all going to, they're all-American team. See, Brian is out there right now. Brian, you never met Maurice, but he's a Cowboy fan. He's a Cowboy fan like you. So I'm outnumbered with these guys. They're out there. So there you go. Okay, one of the things I also wanted to talk about before the show is over, ladies and gentlemen, and this is big news, and we want to talk about it. And if you want to chime in as well, feel free, because it's important. And you may not agree with it. You may not like it. But the biggest news of today, right now, breaking news, and I can only tell you as much as I know right now. 345/666 Beast Incarnate, better known to you as Donald Trump, as you already know, was indicted by the New York grand jury. Now, at this particular point, we can only guess, but we don't want to say for sure because we don't want to get in trouble. We really don't know what the charges is at this point. We don't know what the charges are at this point. We just don't know. But I'm pretty sure we'll probably know something by tomorrow. And then we can, announce it tomorrow. I'm pretty sure even before tomorrow comes, you might find out something tonight. Maybe something materialized while we're here right now. I don't know. And I will find out once we get off the air. We have a few minutes to go once we get off the air. But a lot of people, some people saw it coming. And some people, they said, it's not gonna happen. Personally, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was going to happen. I see when I say something, I'm not a predictor or anything. Just like 345/666 Beast Incarnate, better known to you as Donald Trump. He predicted just a couple of days ago, if you remember, he predicted that. Oh no, that's not going to happen. They're throwing the case out. It's all over. It's finished. He said that just a couple of days before tonight, and here we are right now. So. I think the situation right now, believe is that he's already been informed. His lawyers, his attorneys already been informed that he has been indicted. So what is the next step? We don't know. Maybe a couple of days from now, several days from now, he's going to have to come from wherever he is, have to come out of Florida or wherever he is. And they're going to have to, he has to come in for fingerprinting, mug shots, the whole 9 yards. And I'm going to tell you a story. That same courtroom where he's going to be appearing, whenever that happens, that's the same court. Remember those 5 guys that he wanted to have, he had signed in to have them executed? I think it was 5 of them, right? And I think they all spent time in jail. All of that time in jail for doing anything. They weren't doing anything. Nothing happened. So they're all out of jail now. And he is going to, and they were in that, and these guys were in that same courtroom on this, right on I think it's on, what is downtown Manhattan? Downtown Manhattan, is it Center Street? Center Street, I believe it is. I think it's Center Street. Those same guys, those 5 guys were in that same courtroom building. And that's the courtroom building where Mr. Trump is going to be headed, that same courtroom building. And he was the one that said that, put it out there. He said, I'm calling for an execution for these guys. Obviously, they weren't executed, but they're all out of jail now. And now, you know, it's like chickens coming home to roost. You know, it's like when he goes there, he's going to say, you know, where have I heard about this place before? Well, now you're there. Now you're there. And a lot of people say that this may help him politically. He even says himself, you know, I've heard him say it. He said, oh, let them indict me. I hope they indict me because this is going to look good for me. Politically, it's going to look good for me. I don't get it. If someone could explain it to me, how it's going to be to his advantage politically, you know, I don't see it. But, and even some of his followers are saying the same thing. They're saying, oh, you know, politically, it's going to look good for him. You know, I don't see it, but we'll see what happens. And so anyway, that's the story right now. I can't give you any more information than I know right now because, you know, I don't want to get in trouble. But the point is that right now he's indicted. There's no way around it. And he is the first. This is history making, folks. This is history making. He's the first president. I can't believe I used that word for him, but you get the idea. The first president or the ex-president, first ex-president to be indicted, the very first to be indicted, not indicted, but impeached twice. Now, I remember the time when he was in office, and I told people, I said, you know something, he's going to be impeached. And I used to kid around with the guys, and when, you know, go into the gym, you work out with the guys in the gym, and they say, oh, you know, he's not going to be impeached. You're lying. He's not going to be impeached. Why isn't he going to be impeached? Oh, because he's insulated. He's not going to be impeached. And I said, okay, fine. I said, I'll stick to my guns. You're not going to, you say he's not going to be impeached. I say he's going to be impeached. I'll stick to my guns. And sure enough, he was impeached, but I didn't know he was going to be impeached twice. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it just pays not to try to be God or act like God, because it all comes back. This is a form of chicken coming home to roost. Now, I'm not glorifying any of this, and I hope that you're not either. We're going to have to see how this whole thing plays out. Again, we don't know what the charges are. We can only guess what the charges are. We don't know what they are. Right now, they're all sealed. And they may release it, who knows, maybe tomorrow, maybe after the weekend. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think that they were going to go this far until after the tail end of April. I didn't think they were going to go that far, because you got to go figure. This is around the holiday. You know, when Palm Sunday comes around, you got Palm Sunday. No, that's a Good Friday, and then Palm Sunday, and then the Easter holiday, and then you have Passover, all of those holidays and clusters. And I thought for sure, I said, this is too close to the holiday, and they're not going to work it, you know, during the holiday. And I thought for sure that nothing was going to materialize until the Passover holiday. All of these holidays have passed by, and then they would do something. But the case is now, it's official, it's out there, and he's indicted. So we'll have to see how it goes. And the thing that bothers me about this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that he's not, even now, he's not toning down the rhetoric. Even now, I mean, he went on his fake tweet, or what do they call that? I don't know what they call his. They don't call it a tweet. I think it's called Truth Social or something like that. You know, he goes on that. I think this is his own social page or whatever it is. He goes on there. And according to what I see, Maurice, and we're not so sure about that, Maurice, he says he's going to turn himself in on Tuesday. We can see. Wasn't Tuesday the big day of last week when he was supposed to be, according to him, he was supposed to be arrested. It was supposed to be on a Tuesday. So we'll have to see about that. we'll have to see about that. But we'll have more for you. Hopefully, if when tomorrow comes around, we'll see if there's more information that we can share with you. But that's all of the information we have right now. So I figure all of you knew all about it anyway. But I just figured since tonight I'm on the air and this news broke like about 2 hours before I came on, and so we'll have to see how it goes. But hopefully we'll have more information for you tomorrow. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, those movies I told you about, I have a cluster of them this week. Movies that I think that you will enjoy. And they all come from Turner Classic Movies. Now, each week, as you already know, I like to bring you movies that you may want to watch over the weekend. A lot of people do a lot of things on the weekend. And one of the things that you may want to do is catch up on some movies in conjunction with whatever you do on the weekend. And I like to help out with that. So I add a few movies to your bucket list of what to do or what to watch this weekend. So let's get started right now. Let's go back to 1955. Here's one of my all-time favorite movies back in 1955, A Man with a Golden Arm, starring Frank Sinatra, Eleanor Parker, Kim Novak, and that comes on Turner Classic Movies. You can check it out Friday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Everything I give you is Eastern here because we're coming from, everybody has a different time zone. Psycho with Anthony Perkins, 1960. Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. That's also on Friday. You can check that out at 8 p.m. Eastern. Poltergeist from 1982, starring Craig T. Nelson and Joe Beth Williams. That's on Turner Classic Movies, but that's on Saturday at 12 a.m. So that's 12 midnight. That's Friday night, Saturday morning, 12 midnight. So if you so dare to stay up that late, there you go. And if you don't do it, all of these movies that I'm telling you about right now, if you don't get a chance to watch them in real time, you could also DVR them. It's just as good. Also, we have Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962, with Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. That's also on Saturdays, and that's right after Poltergeist. So we have these movies of the macabre late at night. The best time to watch, late night movies like that, the macabre movies, is like that time at night. I mean, my mom used to tell me, she said, the best time to watch those movies when it's thundering and lightning and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, this comes on 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. That's 2 a.m. Saturday Eastern. Bride of Frankenstein, 1935, Boris Karloff and Elsa Lanchester. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at a reasonable time. Not so reasonable. It's 4 a.m., 4:15 a.m. Eastern. And here's something nice. If you like music that goes back in time, and some of them have the old movies before they started talking, and you can read the fonts or the writing or whatever they call it. But they didn't call it. Well, you get the idea. The Jazz Singer, 1927, with Al Jolson. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 1:15 a.m. Eastern. And here's, you like a little gangster movie? Well, here you go. Little Caesar from 1930, Edward G. Robinson. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 6:30 a.m. So if you want to go to church and you're not going to wake up that early, well, of course, DVR them. Okay, Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, and Lauren Bacall, 1948. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. So that's a reasonable time. And finally, we go back to 1931 with James Cagney, The Public Enemy, and that's on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So all of these movies are there for you, and I think you'll like them. And if you want to see more movies, go on Turner Classic Movies and scroll through the program guide. Now, they may be movies that I didn't mention. Not that I don't like them, but these are my picks of the week. And you can go there and check it. You can go on Movie on Demand as well. Go there and you can check out some of the newer movies and some movies that takes you back in time, movies that you haven't seen in years or haven't seen in a long time. You can go back and check them all out. They're right there. And it's all right there on Turner Classic Movies. That's going to wrap it up for me. I've done my job. I'm going home. So I will be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for more. And it's called the Coffee Hour, 10 a.m. Eastern. Brian Kemp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports, starting as part of the 2020 feature. And he'll be here with that. And 22 the hour, DJ Pete will be here with entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who have been celebrating for this week. Okay, so we look forward to seeing you there. Other than that, I will be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Kemp will be with me with sports. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you soon. Bye-bye.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.